Girls, welcome back to our second term portion of EVS 1 Science for Standard 5th, which is presented by Ms. Shilpa Ribello. Girls, in this presentation, we are going to study a new lesson, that is lesson number 24, Substances, Objects and Energy. This lesson also will be divided into two parts. So let's begin with the first part of lesson number 24, Substances, Objects and Energy. Let's begin with the lesson. As we begin with the new chapter, observe this picture carefully. What do you see in this picture? In this picture, we can see that the student is writing something on the blackboard with the help of the chalk. Right? Yes. So, girls, you have noticed that when we write on the blackboard by chalk, what changes do we see in the chalk and what do you notice around us? What change do you see in the chalk and what do you notice around us? So, you must have seen that most of the time, whenever we use the same chalk for writing anything on the blackboard, the dust particles scatter here and there. The powder form, it falls down and scatters here and there. And when we write something by using the chalk particles are stuck on the blackboard. So what changes do we see in the chalk? The size remains same or changes. So when we use same chalk again and again, what we notice is that the chalk becomes smaller and smaller in size. How it becomes smaller? Because when we write on the blackboard, the particles stick to the blackboard. Okay, so when we write with the white chalk, we can see the white color on the blackboard. How do we wipe the blackboard? Can you tell me? Yes, with the help of the duster. So, we wipe the blackboard with the help of the duster. So, when we wipe the blackboard with duster and we tap the duster against the table or near the window, right? So, when you tap the duster, what changes do you see around you? What do you notice? So, when the duster was tapped on the window or on the table, particles of chalk fell off from it. These particles were of the same color as the piece of the chalk. So, girls, you must have seen that whenever we tap the duster on the table or near the window, we can see that there are many chalk particles scattered over there. There are powder of chalk. This is the powder of chalk. So, that means particles were on the blackboard. When we write, that particles went and stuck on the blackboard. When we wipe with the duster, that particles came on the stuck on the duster. And when we tap it, what happened? That particles fell down. Okay. So, if instead of white chalk, if you use the color chalk, what will happen? So, you will get colorful particles. Okay. So, whichever color chalk you are using, you will get that color particles. Is it clear to you all? So, these particles were of the same color as the piece of chalk. So this tells us that when you wrote on the blackboard, particles of the chalk stuck to the board, and when you wiped the board, they came off. Means the particles were in the chalk. Then what we did? We wrote with the help of the chalk, we wrote on the blackboard. So that particles went and stuck on the blackboard. Now when we wipe with the duster, that particles stuck on the duster. Okay? And when we tap on the table or near the window, that particles fell on the window or the table. That means there are many substances which we see around us are all made up of very tiny small particles. Okay, they are made up of very small tiny particles. Like from the pencil we can say pencil, then a table, any of the wooden material. Everything is made up of tiny particles, and all these tiny particles, they come together and form a substance. They form the substances. Okay, and these substances come together and form objects, and naturally we need energy to work. Correct? So today we are going to study substances, objects and energy. So in this lesson we are going to learn more about how exactly, what do you mean by substance, what exactly do you mean by object, and also there are different forms of energy which are useful for our life, Okay, so with all these things we are going to study in this lesson, that is substances, objects and energy. So let's begin, girls. Now this is a small experiment. Take small pieces of candy sugar or coal and pound them in a mortar. Mortar means, can you see, which we use to smash the garlic or ginger while cooking. Your mommy must be knowing it. So same type it is. Okay. So what they are saying, take a small pieces of candy sugar. Okay, the sugar which we get, the big ones, or coal, and pound them, smash them in a mortar. So in this mortar we have taken pieces of coal and we are smashing them in a mortar. Now when we pound them or smash them in a mortar, what changes will you observe, girls? What we'll see, that we are crushing all coal particles. We are making powder of that coal particles. So when we crush, all the coal particles will be seen. Okay, so that pieces of coal will be turned into coal particles, will be turned into powder. So exactly what happens when you pound the coal or the sugar, it turns into a powder, that is into small particles. So what exactly can you see here? When we crush the complete coal, when we crush it completely, what we see, that the coal particles, what we see, coal particles. That means this coal is converted it into powder form. This coal is converted, transferred into powder form. Okay. So there are big particles or pieces of coal, and then what we have done, we have smashed it and we have converted it into small or tiny particles. So these tiny particles are called powder. So even sugar candy and coal are also made up of tiny particles. So sugar candy also we can do same way. So it will also turn into powder. So they say as sugar candy and coal are made up of very tiny particles. Okay. So all substances we see around us are made up of very tiny particles. Whichever objects, substances we see around us in nature, they all are made of very tiny particles. Small, tiny means we are not able to see with our eyes. So very tiny particles. Now which substances we have? We can pencil, chalk, paper, wood, wheat grains, iron, copper, coal. These all are made up of fine particles. Now we can see pencil, chalk, we can see all these things. But whatever that particles, tiny particles are there, with the help of it, we are not able to see it. Okay. So that means what we are learning, that the particles are very tiny. Substances are big. We can see with our eyes. But the particles are very tiny, which we are not able to see with our eyes. They are very minute particles. It is very minute thing. And when these particles come together, what happens? They form a substance which we are able to see it. Is it clear to you all, girls? Now, you must have seen how sawdust or particles of wood fly when the wood is cut with a saw. Now, if you see observe the carpenter, okay, when he is cutting the wood with the help of saw. Can you see in the picture? The carpenter is cutting the wood with the help of the saw. Correct? So what happens? Can you see the dust falling down? Yes. So what happens? Here in this image there is a person who is cutting the wood with the help of the saw. Okay? And you can see that the sawdust is falling down. Can you see that the sawdust is falling down? So that means this wooden material also is made up of small and tiny particles. Sawdust is a proof. With sawdust is a proof we can understand that there are also tiny particles in the wooden material. So when that carpenter is cutting the wood with the help of the sawdust, that all the sawdust comes down. Can you see the dust coming down? Yes. And that is known as tiny particles. So here what we are studying, that even the wooden material is also made of tiny particles. Okay. So when iron or copper is made smooth with a file, we get particles of iron or copper. Okay, iron or copper. So if you cut that also, then you will get small tiny particles of iron or copper. So all these substances like pencil, chalk, paper, wood, wheat grains, iron, copper, coal, all these substances are made up of very fine particles, tiny particles. Fine particles means tiny particles. Most of the time you must have seen that the grinding of the grains. Have you all noticed? In olden days we used to, our grandparents or their parents, grandparents' parents also used to do this grinding work at home itself. Nowadays we have got all these machines and all to make the floor and all, but previously in past they used to do it at home itself with this help of the machine, which we can see in the picture. Okay, this is a grinding machine. The wheat, rice, jawar, bajra, all these things were grinded at home itself. Okay, so we can make wheat flour, rice flour, jawar flour, many things, bajra, many things we can make. Okay, so all the wheat and the rice particles we grind them. We have seen wheat, we have seen rice. So all this, what happens? We grind them. We try to make that powder. Okay, so this is when we grind them. After grinding them, what happens? They are completely converted, turn into powder. Okay, we can see that when we give the wheat in the shop to make flour. When we bring that, what happens? We see the flour, powder of the wheat, which we use for making chapati. Correct? So same way. So same thing. So this, when we grind, what it happens? It turns into powder form. So this grinding process converts the substance into powder form. Okay. So the small particles of various substances that we can see are themselves made up of tinier particles. We can see wheat or rice, any type of grain, but with the help of whatever it is prepared, that is known as particles. So that tiny particles we are not able to see. Okay, that means, so these particles are made up of very tiny particles, and many particles are needed for that. So they are smaller version, and we are not able to see it, but we can see the substance. Now what is the substance over here? That is the wheat, rice, jawar, bajra. This we can see, these grains we can see, but the particles in the powder form we can't see. Okay, so girls, always remember that these tiny particles are so small that they are not visible to our eyes. We are not able to see with our naked eyes. Lakhs of particles of any substance must come together to form a particle that can be visible to us. Okay, what say they say that, so this particle is again made up of lakhs of particles. Okay, for example, if you take the chalk, so chalk dust particle is again made up of lakhs and lakhs of particles. Okay, so just imagine now, if you have taken that piece of chalk, so how many tiny particles will be needed to prepare that, make that one chalk. Okay, so these tiny particles are not able to see with our eyes, but the substance, that is the chalk, bigger chalk, is able to see with our eyes. Is it clear, girls? So now use your brain, girls, here. What are the small particles that can be seen in a beam of light that enters in a dark room? There is a dark room and only small light, small, that we can say as zero bulb, that light is on. So what you can see near that light? Have you seen anything? If not, try to check, but with the help of your parents. Not to go alone. If you are getting afraid, you will not do it. You will try to take help of your parents and just check it. What you can see when a small light is on in the dark room. Okay, what happens? What you can see in that small light? Just try and check it. But I am telling you all again, girls, try to do this with the help of your parents, with the help of your elders. You will not do it alone. Okay, check it. This is very important now. The theory that all substances are made of minute particles was proposed long ago by Kannar Maharshi. Okay, now who is this Kannar Maharshi? Can you guess who is this Kannar Maharshi? Yes, he is a scientist. So Kannar Maharshi was the first person to discover the minute particles. He was the first person to find out about the minute particles. It's long back ago. Okay, now we'll study more about him. So Kannar Maharshi was a scientist. He was born in the 6th century BC at Prabhas Kshetra near Sorati Somnath in Gujarat. It can be asked in your exam also, girls. So please be careful and please learn it. So Kannar Maharshi was a scientist and he was born in the 6th century BC at Prabhas Kshetra near Sorati Somnath in Gujarat. His given name, sometimes we have the pet name, correct? So we have our real name, but at home your mommy calling the other name, no? So we have the pet names sometimes. So his name also was given as Ulak. His real name was Kannar Maharshi, but what was his name given? Ulak. He proposed, he discovered that all things in the world can be classified into 7 categories. He was also the first to suggest that every object in the universe is made up of minute particles. Just now I said that he was the first person to discover, to search the minute particles. Okay, and what he named that minute particle, that tiny particle? Pilau. It can be asked for your exam. He named that tiny particle as Pilau. Okay, I hope so it is clear to you all. Now, can you tell me, if there is a sudden shower, we take shelter under a roof at the roadside. So even though the rain does not fall on us directly, we get wet to some extent. Why? Suppose you are walking on the road and suddenly rain starts. It starts raining. Okay? So what you will do, girls? Naturally you will take shelter. But where? You will either take shelter under the roof or under the tree at the roadside. Correct? Near the road. So even though the rain falls down, yes, even though you get wet, so why? For what reason? Even that sometimes the water, now naturally if you play with water, naturally you will get wet. But if you are not playing and you are standing, still it you get wet. Still at your leg portion will get wet. Even sometimes your clothes will get wet. So why? Still you are under the roof, under the tree, and still you are getting wet. Because the raindrops that fall on the road bounce off. How you bounce the ball? So same way that raindrops also bounce off and break up into droplets. So when it falls on the road, on the ground, what happens? It breaks into droplets. Have you all seen? Have you all noticed? So these droplets are also made up of tinier particles of water. And because of that, we get wet. That tinier particles are thrown on us. They come. So, because of that tinier particles, we get wet. So, what happens? When the raindrops falls on the road, on the ground, what happens? It bounces and breaks. How if the glass is fallen down on the floor, what happens? It will break into many pieces. Same way. So raindrops also bounce and they also break up into droplets, and these droplets are very tiny particles. They are water. So they naturally, if it is of water, then naturally they will, when it comes on our face, on clothes, we will get wet. That means, now from this what we can understand, that the liquids are also made of small particles. What we understand from this part, that liquids are also made up of small tiny particles. Is it clear, girls? Now, make a list of all the everyday substances that we use in the form of a powder. You can see many things in our day-to-day life. So just try to make a list. Okay, if there are 5, 6, it's okay. But try to remember and write the substances which we use in the form of powder. Okay. Now next topic. What can you see in this picture? Have you all seen this before? Can you guess what it is? Yes, it is naphthalene balls. Have you all smelled this? Naphthalene balls. So where we use these naphthalene balls? So naphthalene balls are placed in warm clothes. After some days, why do the clothes also smell of naphthalene? Have you all seen that sometimes when your mommy is cleaning the cupboard, what she is doing? She keeps the naphthalene balls besides the clothes. Yes? So and after few days, if you will notice, you will not able to see that naphthalene ball only over there. It gets disappear. Why? And you will get that same smell for the clothes. For what reason? Why? So you must have noticed that naphthalene balls have got particular smell. So if you place the cloth along with the naphthalene balls, after few days our cloth also will get the same smell like the naphthalene ball. But why? How it is so? Yes, naphthalene is continuously being converted into small particles in the gaseous state. So such small particles from the balls settle on the clothes. So the clothes too smell of naphthalene. So what happens? That means naphthalene ball, it is in the solid form. If you see the picture, what happens? It is in the solid form. Correct? So when you keep it in the open atmosphere, what happens? This naphthalene ball come in close contact with the air, and then this is directly converted into the gaseous state. That means the solid particles of naphthalene balls are converted into the small particles, tiny particles of the gaseous state. So they settle down on the clothes, and because of that we get the smell. Such small particles from the balls settle on the clothes. So the clothes too smell of naphthalene. So this can be asked for your give reasons also. Since you have the MCQ questions, we will not be asked, but might be for the objectives. Okay. So please pay attention. Now next question is, naphthalene balls are also placed in toilets. Have you all noticed? So why do it become smaller after a few days? If you have seen that after a few days, what you will notice, that the naphthalene balls are becoming very small, and after a few days more it gets disappear. How? Even nowadays what we do, instead of naphthalene balls we keep Odonil, correct, packets or sachet. So after few days you see the same thing happening with that also. It gets disappear. The packet becomes empty. Why? What's the reason? So as the particles leave the naphthalene balls, the balls grow smaller in size and slowly gets disappear. So naphthalene balls become smaller and smaller and they disappear. What is the reason beyond that now? The reason is that, as I told you before also, these naphthalene balls, they are in the solid form. So when they come in close contact with air, what happens? They are converted into gaseous form. So it becomes smaller and gets disappear. Same thing happens with the Odonil. Can you get it, girls? I hope so you have understood with this. So naphthalene balls and Odonil, when they come in close contact with air, they come in converted into gaseous state. Okay, and so that means they become smaller and smaller, and they after a few days they are disappeared. That means they are formed in the gaseous state. Is it clear to you all? I hope so you have understood now. Yes. So we will go to the next topic now. So girls, what can you see now in this picture? Can you guess? Yes, it is Rangoli. You must be drawing or removing Rangoli near in front of your doors, especially during your festivals, Diwali festival. Sometimes in the during the Eid also, some of the Muslim people also try to remove. No, it's not compulsory, but as a wish, as you think, you can do it. Correct? Even many people try, even they are trying to do on their festivals. Okay? So, this Rangoli powder comes in different colors. If you can see in the picture also, you can see in the shops, markets, we get this Rangoli colors in different colors. Correct? Rangoli powder in different colors. So, the particles of Rangoli are fine like a flow. This flow means it is like a powder. Correct? It is powder. So Rangoli colors are also available in the form of grains. Have you all noticed? Yes. So nowadays we get in grains also. First it was compulsory in the powder, but nowadays we can get in the grains also. Okay. So Rangoli is also in the particle format. It is a particle itself. If you get the powder, naturally it is a tiny particles. Okay, so we can say that Rangoli is also made up of very tiny particles which we cannot see. Okay, but if we apply the grains, naturally we will be able to see. So these particles are again made up of lakhs and lakhs of particles. These substances are also made up of lakhs and lakhs of particles. So Rangoli is also available in different colors, as we can see in the picture. Okay. So Rangoli is in the Rangoli has different colors and they are tiny particles. Okay, now suppose, use your brain here. Suppose you do not have rangoli powder. So what things can you use as an alternative? Have you all noticed? Okay, this is an homework for you all. Discuss with your parents and write the answer in your science notebook. Now we will see the next topic, the states of substances. So from the experiment we saw that not only the solid particles but also the gaseous particles and the liquid particles are also available in one different states, and all the different three states of the material have the different types of particles, that is solid particles, liquid particles, gaseous particles. So now we will study the states of substances. So here we will take the example of water. Now you know water is very precious, very important for our life. We need water for many things and we need water for our life. Without water we can't stay. So we will take the example of water over here. So water is found in nature, naturally. Yes, this is a natural thing. It's in nature in three states: solid, liquid and gaseous. Okay. Now if you see in the picture down, you will see the solid, liquid and gas. So these are the three states of water. What are the three states of water? Solid, liquid and gaseous. Very important. It can be asked for the exam. What are the three states of substances? That is solid, liquid and gaseous. So solid form, liquid form and gaseous form are the three states of water. Okay, so water exists in all states. How? Now you must be thinking that how exactly these particles are arranged over here. Correct? Can you see in the picture solid? Now if you take the water, you want ice of water. So what you will do? You will take one container, you will put water in that, you will take water and you will keep it in the fridge. Correct? After few hours what will happen? It will turn into ice. So that ice is solid. Now if you keep out, if you don't want that ice, you want you want cold water. So what you do? Chalo. If you have kept it, so let it turn into water. So after half an hour or after 1 hour, it will turn into water. So that is a liquid form. Correct? Now when you take this water and start boiling, what will happen? The water vapor will come. So that is the gaseous state. So water is found in all three states, in the solid state, in the liquid state and the gaseous state. Is it clear to you all girls? Now we will see how. So how exactly it is? As I told you, in all the three states, the individual particles of water remain the same. The individual particles of water remain the same. However, the arrangement of the particles in each of the states are different. Okay, that means the water is same. The water has the same particle in solid, liquid and gaseous. But the formation, the arrangement is totally different in all the three states. How it is so now? You will be thinking, Arey, kaisa? How? So let's see now one by one. What you can see over here? This is a solid form. So ice. Ice is solid, as I told you before. But can you see the down second picture? What you can see? You can see that the particles are joined to each other. They are attached to each other. They are very close to each other. And because of that, it is solid. Pakka. Okay? Because of that, it is solid. Can you see? So, all the particles are very close to each other in the solid. And there is no space between these two particles, between the particles. No space at all. It is attached. It is very close to each other. Okay? So, whatever material we see in the solid format, these particles are very close to each other and so they are solid. So, they are solid. Clear? Now, second is water. So, that is liquid state. That is liquid state. So, now you look at the water particle. So, this is the liquid format. Here is the example of water. Okay, as I told you all before. So, the particles which are present in the water, they are little bit away. Can you see in the picture, second picture? Yes, they are little bit away from each other. So, in liquid state, the particles are little bit away from each other. In solid, they are attached to each other. Okay, but in liquid, they are little bit away from each other. Clear to you all? So, now look at the particles. Okay, look at the particles in the liquid form. So, there is a distance between the particles. Can you see? Observe. So, these are the arrangements of the particles in the liquid state, that they are little bit far off from each other. Okay. Now, we will say about the gaseous state. Can you, which picture you can see? Cloud. Okay. Now, you will be thinking, are a cloud. But as you can see that over there is a cloud. Correct? And cloud is made up of water vapor. Clouds are made up of water vapors. So, these water vapors are present in the gaseous state. When you keep to boil the water on the gas, what happens? You can see the vapor going up. Correct? Yeah. So, that is known as water vapor. When in the May month, we can see the lakes, ponds. What happens? The water gets disappear. So, that is the water vapor. They move up. Okay, form of water vapor. So, they say that the water vapor, they are away from each other. Can you see in the picture, second picture, that they are totally away from each other. Okay. So, these are the arrangements of the particles in the gaseous state. Okay. Now, here all three are together: solid state, liquid state and the gaseous state. Can you see the difference between all three? The particles in a solid are attached to each other, very close to each other. There is no particular gap also over there. But in liquid, what it is? They are little bit far off, little bit. And in gaseous state, they are totally far off. Can you see? Yeah. So, here is the difference between the solid, liquid and gaseous states. So, girls, always remember that as a result, we see differences in the properties of solids, liquids and gases. So, all substances in nature have a particulate form, that is, they are made up of particles. So, in nature, every substance occurs in a specific state. Okay, means because of the arrangements of the particles which are away from each other, which are close to each other, which are totally away from each other, they all are the properties, all differ in the all three states. The properties that are all different in the three states. If you see solid, they are very closed. If you see in the liquid, they are little bit far. And if you see in the gaseous, they are totally far. So all the properties are totally different in all the three states. Clear to you all, girls? And because of that, what they say that in nature, every substance occurs in a specific state. Every substance, it is different in the specific state, in different states. Okay. So, accordingly, that substance is called a solid, liquid or gas. For example, aluminium and coal are solid. I hope so you have seen aluminium, correct? And coal, starting we have seen. Kerosene and petrol and water, they are liquid. Have you all seen kerosene, petrol? Petrol, of course, because we use for vehicles, and nowadays each and everyone is having the vehicle. And water. Water is very important, precious. And nitrogen and oxygen, they are gases. Have you ever seen it? No. So what they say that kerosene and petrol and water, they don't have shape. Now, have you all seen the coal and the aluminium? They have proper shape. Either it is round, either it is square, whatever shape. But kerosene, petrol, water, have you all seen the shape of that? No. So if you pour it, if you pour the kerosene and petrol in bottle, they will take the bottle shape. If you pour the water in the glass, they will take the glass shape. Correct? Whichever container, if you pour them, they will take that container shape. Okay, so and nitrogen and oxygen, naturally they are gases, so they will be like vapor, no? So what they say that they will come under what happens? So these all have different properties, solid, liquid and gaseous, these all are having the different properties. Why? Because they belong to different states. They belong to different states. Is it clear? So girls, what we have learned today? That different substances have different properties. Aluminium and coal, they have different properties. Liquid, petrol and kerosene, water, they have different. And nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, they have different properties. So all have different properties. Okay. So substances may differ with respect to properties like hardness, transparency, color, smell, solubility in water. If you take water, you can see the next whatever opposite whatever is there. Correct? Sometimes the solid things are very hard. No, the color, the smell. Okay, so all are having the properties, but it depends on the substances. It depends on the substances. Not all the substances will be having the same properties. All substances will be having the different substances will be having the different properties. Is it clear to you all? So these properties change. They change from the substance to substance. Okay, if you take pencil, the pencil property will be different, the water property will be different, the cupboard property will be different. Okay, that means every substance has different properties. Is it clear to you all, girls? So these properties changes from one substance to another. I hope so, girls, you have understood here. So I stop over here. Let's continue the remaining part of this lesson in the second video or next presentation. Okay. I hope so, girls, you have understood this first part of the lesson very well. Now here are some of the questions. Fill-ups, answer in one sentence, name the following. Okay. Take the help of the textbook or this video presentation, and you are supposed to write the question and the answers in your science notebook. I hope so, girls, you are completing your notebooks on time. See that you complete your notebook on time and complete all the assignments which are given by me. Okay, so see you in the next presentation or next video. Till then, bye bye. Thank you. Stay at home, stay safe. Okay.